all know what we love to do. We're just afraid to like speak on it or act on it. I said that shit. I've been saying that shit since I was like 17. Like,
wow.
Like, stop acting like we all know what we love. We all know what we deeply love. It's just the actions that we're scared of. We're scared to put in that work because we think we're going to fail. We're scared to, be dedicated every day towards it because, I'm not here. Like, they started at this age and they're already grown, or they did this or that. Like, whatever the, questions or concerns and thoughts may be. So I would just say, you know what you love. And if you don't know what you love, just do things, try things, find out. Don't be afraid to fail. That's just like the thing. Like, don't be afraid to fail.
Welcome back to another episode of Your Visionary Podcast. Man, I'm excited about this one today. It's always good when I get to bring on, some of my friends that I actually connect with behind the scenes. I started this podcast as a way to connect with business-minded people, who I wanted to hear from and learn from. But when it's somebody that I'm actually friends with, it hits a little different. So I'm excited for y'all to hear from my brother Toyosi, also known as Hermez. But before we go into that, I want to remind you what Visionary Podcast is all about. So this is the one and only podcast intentionally designed to push you forward towards a vision you created for your life. If you don't have a vision for your life, this is the podcast to help you structure a vision to become the person God created you to be. And so with every episode, my goal is to tell real, authentic, and purposeful stories, not capped, but true stories to help you create a vision for your life and get closer to your purpose. A purpose where you're having a positive impact on those around you and on the world. And I can definitely say that the brother you're about to hear from is having a positive impact on the world. And so I want to tell you a little bit about him before we bring him on. And so Toyosi, also known as Hermez, is a Nigerian singer and songwriter born and raised in Atlanta. Hermez's sound is an eclectic mix of R&B and Afro-fusion that translates into what is now coined as Afro-Soul. His raspy melodies and mellow-tone hooks are what feed into his genuine signature process. Phantom Troupe, his latest release, sees Hermez wearing his shirt on his sleeve and cementing his place in the fully-fledged Nigerian scene. He dedicates his project to his supporters that have stuck with him through thick and thin. My brother Toyosi, how you doing, man? Doing good, bro. Thank you for coming on today, man.
My pleasure. I love the podcast already.
Yeah, bet, bro. I love it, man. And so I want to start out by starting out with a quote that I love, bro. And with this new kind of wave, this new rebranding that I'm doing with the podcast, intentionally bringing on artists and writers, because I feel like artists speak to the heart of the world.
Right.
And with that being the case, bro, what message do you feel like you're sending to the world?
What I want to do is to inspire people to be themselves, to be their truest form, and not to feel like when you enter a room you have to, change your tone or, dress a certain way or look a certain way. Like, you can literally come in as comfortable as you are, through my style, through my, cover arts, anime influence, and me being black and like me being Nigerian. I try to inspire people, we're multi-dimensional and we can be all those things and we can accept ourselves. We don't have to bend over for any situation, any job, any person, any relationship. That's my message to yourself. Sure.
Yeah, that's real, bro. Love that. And that's such a powerful message, because I feel like just being black men, growing up in America, like I know you're Nigerian, but it's just like still, being in America a lot. It's like there's kind of a view of ourselves that we see, right? Especially, I mean, now more than ever, bro, how we see like the police, killing black men especially. And it's just like, damn, it feels like the norm. But I feel like a lot of black men don't realize how multidimensional we are. We don't get to see that picture, as much as we see the other side.
Parallel effect, I would say. Like, I was born and raised in Atlanta. I'm fully American, hence no accent. But I've lived in Nigeria and I travel back to Nigeria all the time. And the police brutalities happen over there too, as well. Like, you see the NSARS, you see all of our American artists, celebrities saying hashtagging. I don't know if you've seen it yet. NSARS. Basically, that's literally the same thing that's happening over here is happening over there, but to the same color of their skin. Like, they're killing them. It's crazy what the government has done and the power that they have taken. But our generation, millennials and Generation Z, like, we're not having, we're not lying down, we're not waiting. Like, there's power in numbers. We're gonna change happen.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. That's real. And I saw a little bit about, the NSARS thing in Nigeria, but I'm not, too informed about what's going on. And so it's basically just kind of the same. The government, corrupt or similar.
It's the same. The police are abusing and taking advantage of you. And so where it's different is because, we're getting killed for being black in America, but they're getting killed for being creative. So if they have color in it, if they have earrings, if they have dreads, police are like already abusing them, thinking they're thugs, thinking they're, some, I don't know, just criminals, and they're literally killing and dumping bodies. And the government is shit over there is that people are losing, sisters and brothers every day and not being traced about it. There's no like actual justice being served on that. So it's our generation's not having it, and like the corruption is just too deep for us to like continue to keep going this way.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And this is actually kind of a cool segue, because I want to talk about one of the tracks on your project, No Safety.
Oh yeah.
And you talk about the lifestyle of the young and stylish. What does that mean to you?
There's a short period of time, like, I mean, you're young forever. Young is a mindset, but like there is a short period where there's a window of like these things that we do, these clubbing and just these little dating and messing around and parties and all this like this lifestyle that we do. So in that track, I wanted to just like emphasize that there's like literally no safety in that. You know what I'm saying? There's no safety in that. There's no safety in that time period. Like we're just out here wilding. We're out here just like we're being fresh. We think we're vibrant. I mean, we are vibrant. I think it lasts forever, and it doesn't. Like this lifestyle, you begin to age and you begin to see like, okay, I need to graduate from this lifestyle. So it's just like a introspective type of writing where I was like, yo, I've been through this. Plenty of people have been through this, and let me just like speak on like an experience that we all go through as youth, as youngins. That how the flashy life, and it's just like, yeah, I felt like writing and showing that side and showing like it's not a forever thing, but like yo, in that moment, it feels so good. It's like dopamine is so high. We feel so fucking good. But it's not forever, man. It's just it's a lifestyle of the young and stylish. You eventually grow. You still stylish forever, but you grow older.
Yeah, and there's more maturity that comes with that. And I didn't even make that connection to where the song means that you're saying that there's no safety in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And because it's really not, bro, because like a lot of the relationships, are not real, right? People just want we want to be around you for what you can offer and things like that. And that just comes with the lifestyle, So let's kind of talk about the dangers of that, bro. And like the dangers of living in that lifestyle and why it's important to graduate and not get stuck in that. Because some people do get stuck in that. We see like some old heads will be like late 30s, early 40s, still want to be, young and stylish in the club. But it's like, that's not cool.
I'm joy. Like I'm always going to be joyful. I'm always gonna have fun. Even when I'm 50, I'm still gonna be like, partying and shit and doing all that shit. But like, it's like the mindset of it. Like, graduate from like in the verse, I say like, see you bouncing back and forth from VIP. I'm not trying to like, I'm only trying to live that, for a certain amount of time. Like, I'm not trying to say that. You probably won't hear that, what I'm saying, from me as much because it's like I'm not gonna be in that situation again. And people tend to fall back into that, like, chasing up younger women, chasing up ballers, the lights, the sparklers, and that shit. It don't do nothing for me anymore. Like it's just like get to a point where you want more out of life. And when we're younger, we think these are the things that we need to, feel cool or to feel accepted or to feel our strongest self. But it's not entirely true. Like there's a cap, there's a limit, and I'm a limitless person, and I don't like all right, we get the bottles, we get the girls, get the jewelry, we get the fast cars, whatever. All right, cool. What's next? Like, is that it?
Yeah.
And so I just like to paint that picture for people. Like, this is the situation we went through, and I know a lot of, but we don't have to continue to repeat it. It don't have to be a cycle. We can graduate. I'm not saying you have to get married to do all this thing, but you can graduate past those experiences. You shouldn't repeat the same mistakes or the same. You should always be growing, basically.
Yeah, that's real, bro. And like one thing I really love about that is just that message is positive. Like I love art where, it's relatable, but it's also inspiring because it's giving you a message that you need to grow, right? I mean, that's kind of just the way of life is just to be here and grow and to evolve. And so I love art that does that. And so when it comes to like your writing process, bro, what kind of space do you have to be in, or do you like to be in, whether that be physically or mentally?
Physically, I always top shape, so I always gotta like physically for writing. It's not even just for writing. It's like writing is my life. So or like art and creativity is my life. So I have to physically always feel good. So work out in the mornings, run, do some yoga, stretches, whatever I can to make sure my body's feeling like well. And then mentally, I gotta be alone. I can write around people and it still will be, dope, but majority, 90%, 99, I would say, like majority of the time I gotta be alone. So I can really not like think of judgment because I'm an empathetic person and I want people to be involved. And so like I might consume other people's ideas that might not be what I was thinking. So I need to express my full idea first, and then I'll bring it around other people, and then I'll take in, opinions and suggestions. But firstly, I gotta be alone. I write to myself, and then I go to the studio. I work with an engineer. It's not a party in there, like it's just me and the engineer, because I'm serious about my craft and I take it serious, so I don't need too many distractions around me. And then then we go from there. We have something beautiful. Either it's beautiful.
Yeah. Nah, I feel it, bro. That's dope. That's dope. That's lit, bro. And I find that interesting that you prefer to be alone when you're writing because of the distractions and the judgment. And I think that's one thing that a lot of artists, a big fear of a lot of artists, is judgment and comparison. You know what I'm saying? And how, like, personally, how do you get past that feeling of judgment, bro? Because as an artist, you have to put your stuff out. You don't have to, but the goal should be to put your. You don't have to, but the goal should be to put your stuff out there. I mean, that's part of how you grow as an artist.
You made a decision as an artist, bro. You made a decision to put yourself out there. I can't really speak, like, this is not like something that can be taught, but I honestly don't give a fuck. As a person in general, I just don't really care too much about thoughts. And that's like, it varies. Like, obviously I care what people think about my project, but in the process, I would say, in the process of making things, I can't hear too many thoughts. I have to quiet the room. I have to quiet everybody. After it's being like finished, that's when I'll take an opinion. So I would just say, like, find that space where you're comfortable. I meditate a lot. I meditate daily. And just find that zone where you can just, like, lock in with yourself and, like, just not care about likes, numbers, or opinions. Like, because our generation is circled around comments, likes, and all this extra shit. And I feel like it takes away from the art. It takes away from any art form, not just music, but just any art form that you're doing. If you don't have that time to yourself to know, how do you feel about it? How do I want to, send this message out to people? So just solitude.
Solitude, yeah, that's real, bro. And I feel like it's also important to think about the end goal of it, like the purpose of your craft, right? Like the message you want to send. And one of my mentors told it to me like this: like, whenever you're working on a project, think of it as like you're giving a gift out into the world, right? And it's like, what do you want that gift to be? Like, how is that gift going to be packaged? What's going to be inside it? How do you want your audience to react once they open that gift? And thinking about it from that aspect instead of thinking about it like, damn, I'm really putting myself out there. Like, I might seem soft. I might seem like, a certain type of way. People might judge me, but it's really not about that. Yeah. And so when it comes to inspiration, bro, what or who do you get inspiration from when it comes to your writing process?
Women, like life and women. So women are like the greatest, like women are like the superior beings on this earth. They birth humans, and then we're here to support. But so women, how strong they are, they birth, they go through not being treated fairly. They don't get the same rights as men. They get, they got to go through loopholes. So women inspire me. Black people inspire me. Africans inspire me. What we go through and everything we overcome, and just the dedication to greatness that we want, to push ourselves to be the best. And then life. So like stories, like I like to write stories, and not all of my stories are about me. So like you can tell a story. One of my other friends can tell me a story of my brother, and I like, damn, I listen to that story, and I'm like, sheesh, like I gotta write about that. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, someone has to hear this. Like, this is crazy. So inspiration comes from life, women, and I would say Africans and Black people.
I love that, bro. Now, and I love how you started with women, because I'm inspired by women too. Yeah, bro. I'm also inspired by how open women are in terms of just like their emotions, right? And I always say, like, I'm energetically sensitive, so I feel energies before I actually like interact with the person. I think that's why I connect with you and your whole crew, really, just because y'all energy is so pure, and I feel that. So that's really dope.
Yeah, bro. Coming from where we come from, like that's transactional, energy. But where we come from, Atlanta, like, it's one of the most flashiest states in America, or I would even say the world. Like, we about, like, it has to be, out there, and energy is disguised within jewelry and like cars and within penthouses. So when you can still find that in a city that we come from, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, because it's very rare.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. And also in one of the songs on your project, bro, Coded Wishes, you talk about a woman who is searching for deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I heard you say that repeatedly, that hit me, like a deeper meaning, for life, deeper meaning for life. What do you mean by that? And like, what does that look like for you?
I've had plenty of situations where, like, I used to like look at God like, why am I having these women that like have all these problems? Like, I'm like, problems. But then I looked at it like, oh no, they really just like, they just want more. And when I wrote that, it was really for me and her. So like, I'm searching for a deeper meaning in life. life. Always, like, I always want to make sure I'm aligned with my purpose. And then for the females that were around me in the past, currently, they're on the same thing. They're on the same way. They're not just, they don't want surface level. They're not cool with just a check. You know, they want to make sure the check expands into growth, into generations that they can help other people. So I feel like searching for something, like searching for a deeper meaning of yourself, instead of, like, you know, we out here, people search for like relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, people search for, you know, clout, people search for whatever they search for. But if you search for that purpose and that meaning, like, you always gonna be straight.
Yeah, that's real. So if you were to give somebody advice on like how to be intentional about finding that deeper meaning, you know, internally, right? Because it's different for every single human being. Like, every single human being was created for a different purpose. So when it comes to finding deeper meaning for you, like what kind of advice would you give to somebody for that?
We all know what we love to do. We're just afraid to like speak on it or act on it. I said that shit. I've been saying that shit since I was like 17. Like,
wow.
Like, stop acting like, we all know what we love. We all know what we deeply love. It's just the actions that we're scared of. We're scared to put in that work because we think we're going to fail. We're scared to, you know, be dedicated every day towards it because, oh, I'm not here. Like, they started at this age and they're already grown, or they did this or that. Like, whatever the, like, you know, questions or concerns and thoughts may be. So I would just say, you know what you love. And if you don't know what you love, just do things, try things, find out. Don't be afraid to fail. That's just like the thing. Like, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take chances and risks. Like, that's the only reason I'm still like that. I'm here, like, doing what I love today, and I'm standing on my 2 feet, proud of like who I am, because I'm not afraid of the criticism. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid for someone to say they don't like, because it's not like, you got to, you know, take your ego out of it. You're not always going to be number one. You can work towards, you know, number one. You can work towards a certain level of excellence, but just don't be afraid to fail, because a lot of the greats that I studied, Kobe, from Jay-Z, Pharrell, they took chances. People said they sucked a lot of times before, you know, they got to a certain place. And so just don't be afraid to fail, and just keep trying shit and find what your niche is.
Yeah, that's so key, bro. Like, just that's part of the process, man. Steadily taking action. It's like always say, bro, any action is better than no action.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna learn. One of my positive affirmations, bro, you never lose. You either win or you learn.
Ain't no L, ain't no loss.
Right. You know, for sure. That's good, bro. I love that. Since this is like your visionary podcast, I want to talk a little bit about vision. Yeah. So what is your vision, bro, when you think about the things that inspire you, bro? Women, Black people, Africans. You know, what's the vision that you have for the future? What do you see when it comes to those?
My personal vision and my vision for life, like,
yeah.
First, like, personally, like, I'm gonna take this music thing to the highest level, like, to the highest level I can possibly take it to. You know, like, a lot of things that is like Watch the Throne level. I'm talking about, like, you know, that level. And then I want to use the popularity or whatever I gain from it to spread like knowledge, to build schools, to go back to Africa and get land, and to take a lot of my American Black friends to Africa for the first time, to show them like, this is where you came from, and you trying to get land here is like not impossible, but it's way harder. Like, come here, let me show y'all some things. Like, so I want to educate, I want to inspire, I want to give back. I want to give opportunities to as many people as I can, because I remember coming up, like, I ain't had no help. Like, there was no help. I was just creating out of thin air, you know. And then I finally got like people were taking risks, taking chances on me, and I want to do the same for a lot of so for women, I put them first. I want to give a lot of women and Black women opportunities with endeavors that I have. You know, I run this company with my cousin called Sauce Nigeria. It's a media company out in Nigeria, a brand called Divine Tree, and that's like a management production company. And his quote is, "Gift that keeps giving." Mm-hmm. There's actually a book called The Gift That Keeps Giving. Mm-hmm. And like, once you have a gift, like, it's not for you to, you know, hold. You know, you have to give it out and share it and spread the knowledge. So that's my vision. That's how I see myself. It takes steps and stages. So, you know, as I'm moving up in life, I'm checking off these boxes and reminding myself, this is what I do it for. This is my vision. This is my purpose.
I love that, bro. That's beautiful. My favorite thing you said is, I mean, everything I loved, but when you talked about taking your Black American friends back to Africa so you can see where they came from. So that's crazy. I know one of my best friends, he's Senegalese. He took me to Senegal, and it completely changed my life, bro.
Yeah.
It completely changed my life. And I mean, it's really part of the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing now, you know, why I have like a heart for gratitude and a heart for giving. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know that there is nothing to be envious about or upset about if we're living, you know, the way we live, right? Because, you know, different countries, like especially Africa, I mean, it's beautiful there too, but there are also a lot of poverty there as well. And so it's just like, you know, you have to just be grateful, and you have to see that in order to know exactly what you have.
Definitely want, like, I've been pushing that narrative for some time now, and I definitely want to take my friends out here, not even just black, but mostly black first, but like just to show them, like, bro, we are like blessed, and the gratitude. Like, I went to Nigeria in 2019 December before all of this 2020 shit.
Oh wow!
I was just thanking God that I went, because I've been standing strong through it. Like, I haven't been like, because I've seen way worse, and I've been through way worse, and I've seen all that. So it's like, damn, like I was supposed to go right before this, like all this 2020 stuff happened, and it's been holding me strong. I've been reminding myself of those moments of me going to the village, of me going to my mom's house, my dad's place, like, and seeing everything, seeing how they live out there, and seeing other people and villagers, and experience the high life of it too. Like, Lagos, Nigeria is beautiful. It's like, you can compare it to Miami or LA. Like, it's bro, it's lit. Like, it's different, bro. It's so beautiful.
That's fire, bro. I love that. But man, I appreciate this time, bro. Got much love for you and what you're doing. You know, I'm inspired by you, bro. And is there any last thing you want to tell to the people, bro?
Man, you know, just tune into your podcast. Subscribe to this shit right now, because this is like actually giving, you know, visionaries a platform to discuss what truly means a lot to their heart and their goals and their vision. So subscribe to this. Listen to Phantom Troupe. Listen to any of my music, Hermez, on all platforms, Hermez. And like, let's just keep growing. Let's get it, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. There it is, bro. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with Your Visionary Podcast. Peace and love. Now, this part of the episode is what I call the Visionary Minute, where I go over 3 takeaways from the previous episode. In this episode with Hermez, we talked about a lot, but I'm going to highlight 3 things. First, he says, you know what you love, you're just scared to act on it. I'm a firm believer that everyone has a gift, everyone has passions and a purpose. And I've learned that when it comes to finding your purpose, you have to start out with what you're passionate about. And so whatever you love, whatever you enjoy, continue to do that and do that and do that no matter what may come from it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of judgment or comparison. You already know what you love. Don't be scared to act on it. Number 2, he says, don't be afraid to fail. And this is so key when it comes to just artists and creators. You know, you can't be scared to fail. You can't be scared of people not liking what you put out into the world. You just have to know that what you're doing is a gift. And if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. And lastly, he says there is power in numbers. And he said this when he was talking about the racial injustice and talking about SARS in Nigeria. And he says just there's powers in numbers. And that's so key, especially as a creator, right? And it's just power in having a community. There's power in having accountability. You know, there's power in just in fellowship and just being with a lot of people and knowing, who you're serving and just knowing what they want. And you're not always being alone, right? And I know he talked about how he liked to be in a sacred place when he creates. And that's cool when you create, but at some point your creation turns into a gift to others. And so you have to know that there's power in that community and there's power in that accountability. And so there it is. See you all on the next episode. Peace.